For most of the episode, the Chi allows viewers to spend time with its characters before the inevitable tragedy strikes. Emmett and Kiesha continue building a future together. Their parenting journey takes center stage as they deal with challenges involving the children. Despite awkward situations and difficult conversations, they grow closer than ever before. Their relationship represents one of the few hopeful storylines remaining on the show. Meanwhile, Jake struggles with Reg's return to his life. Reg continues making reckless decisions and pulling people into dangerous situations. Jake clearly sees the destruction that follows his older brother everywhere he goes, and for perhaps the first time, he begins openly standing up to him. Bakery attempts to repair his fractured relationship with Lene. Their storyline may not be the most dramatic part of the episode, but it highlights one of the show's recurring themes. Try to move forward while carrying the weight of past mistakes. At the same time, Victor, Shad, Patience, and Tiff continue to deal with the fallout from earlier events in the season. Everyone is searching for answers, but none of them realize how close they are discovering a truth that will change everything. The truth about Nuck finally surfaces. One of the biggest storylines of Season 8 has revolved around Nuck. For much of the season, Nuck has managed to stay one step ahead of everyone. He constantly finds excuses, manipulates situations, and avoids accountability for his actions. But Episode 5 finally begins tearing down the wall of lies he built around himself. Tiff has been increasingly suspicious of him. She knows something isn't right. Every time she asks questions, Nuck comes up with another explanation. However, the more he talks, the less believable he becomes. The cracks in his story are becoming impossible to ignore. The turning point arrives when evidence emerges confirming what many people have suspected for a long time. Nuck was responsible for Rob's death. For Tiff, this isn't just another crime. This is personal. Rob wasn't simply someone she knew. His death created a wound that never healed. Discovering that Nuck was behind it completely destroys any trust she still had in him. The revelation becomes a catalyst for one of the most shocking scenes of the season. Why Tiff decides to kill Nuck. Tiff's decision isn't impulsive. In many ways, it has been building since the season began. Throughout Season 8, grief has consumed her. She has struggled to move forward while carrying the pain of losing Rob. She desperately wanted answers, and now she finally has them. The evidence leaves no room for doubt. Nuck killed Rob. At that moment, everything changes. Rather than turning the information over to the authorities or seeking justice through legal channels, Tiff chooses revenge. Victor becomes involved as well after learning the truth. The two find themselves united by a common goal, making Nuck pay for what he has done. The scene works because it feels inevitable. The writers have spent several episodes showing the emotional damage caused by Nuck's actions. Once the truth finally emerges, there is no realistic path toward forgiveness. For Tiff, justice and revenge become the same thing. Nuck's death explained. The episode's most shocking moment arrives during the final minutes. Nuck believes everything is normal. He has no idea that the truth has finally been exposed. When he arrives expecting an ordinary conversation, he instead walks directly into his own execution. Tiff confronts him. There are no lengthy negotiations, no chance for redemption, no opportunity to talk his way out of trouble. After spending an entire season avoiding consequences, Nuck finally faces them. Tiff shoots him. The attack is sudden, brutal, and final. The episode makes it clear that Nuck does not survive. The close-up shots and aftermath leave little room for interpretation. One of the most powerful and dangerous figures on the South Side is gone. This death is significant because Nuck has been at the center of multiple storylines throughout the season. His removal instantly creates a power vacuum. Now the question becomes, who takes control? The second death, Nora's tragic fate. As shocking as Nuck's death is, it isn't the only major loss in Episode 5. The episode quietly sets up another tragedy involving Nora. Earlier storylines established that Nora possessed information capable of exposing powerful people. That knowledge made her incredibly dangerous to those trying to protect themselves. Shad had already expressed concerns. He feared that the people who used Nora would eventually decide she knew too much. Unfortunately, those fears proved correct. By the end of the episode, reports confirmed that Nora has been murdered. Unlike Nuck's death, which comes from personal revenge, Nora's murder is calculated. She becomes a loose end. Someone decides she cannot be allowed to speak. As a result, she is permanently silenced. Her death may actually have even larger consequences than Nuck's, because it directly connects to the broader conspiracy surrounding Alicia's murder and the powerful individuals trying to avoid exposure. Why Nora's death matters. Nora represented something dangerous. The truth. As long as she remained alive, there was always a possibility that she could expose the people responsible for past crimes. Now that possibility is gone. Or at least, that's what the killers hope. The death demonstrates how ruthless certain characters have become. Anyone who threatens their interests becomes expendable. No amount of guilt, regret, or innocence can save them. Nora's murder also serves as a warning to every other character investigating the truth. If someone can kill Nora this easily, nobody else is safe. Victor, Chad, Patience, even Tiff, all of them could become targets moving forward. Reg's growing threat. Another important development in Episode 5 involves Reg. Since returning, Reg has slowly reestablished himself as one of the most dangerous people in the city. He operates according to his own rules and rarely considers the consequences of his actions. This episode shows him becoming increasingly reckless. His relationship with Jake continues deteriorating. Jake understands that Reg's behavior is pulling everyone back into violence. The confrontation between the brothers suggests that a larger conflict is coming. At some point, Jake may be forced to choose between family loyalty and doing what he knows is right. That conflict could become one of the defining storylines of the remaining episodes. Emmett and Kiesha provide hope. Not everything in Episode 5 is tragic. The writers wisely balance the darkness with moments of hope. The biggest example comes from Emmett and Kiesha. While death surrounds much of the South Side, they continue focusing on building a future together. Their relationship grows stronger throughout the episode, culminating in a touching engagement moment. Both characters clearly envision a life beyond the chaos that has consumed so many others. This storyline matters because it gives viewers something worth rooting for. The Chi has always been about survival. Not just physically surviving, but emotionally surviving as well. Emmett and Kiesha symbolize the possibility that some people can break free from the cycle. Whether they actually succeed remains to be seen. What Nuck's death means for the rest of Season 8. The death of Nuck completely changes the power structure of the show. For years, he operated as a major player behind the scenes. Now he's gone. That creates opportunities for new alliances and new conflicts. Several questions immediately emerge. Who will fill the power vacuum? Will Tiff face consequences for killing him? How will his allies respond? Will his death trigger another wave of violence? The remaining episodes will likely explore these questions in detail. One thing is certain. The South Side won't remain peaceful for long. What happens next? With 5 episodes remaining in the final season, the stakes have never been higher. Alicia's murder still hangs over the story. Reg continues causing problems. Jake is reaching his breaking point. Tiff has crossed a line she can never uncross. Victor and Chad remain caught in dangerous circumstances. And Nora's death proves that powerful enemies are willing to eliminate anyone who threatens them. The final episodes now have a clear direction. The battle for truth is entering its final stage. Some characters will seek justice. Others will seek revenge. And a few may simply try to survive. Final thoughts. The Chi Season 8 Episode 5 delivers exactly what fans expect from a final season. Major consequences. The deaths of Nuck and Nora aren't random shock moments. They are the result of storylines that have been developing for weeks. Nuck's death finally brings consequences for Rob's murder, while Nora's murder demonstrates how far powerful people will go to protect themselves. At the same time, the episode leaves viewers with plenty of questions. Can Tiff live with what she has done? Will justice ever be served for Alicia? Can Jake escape Reg's influence? And most importantly, who will be the next victim as the South Side's coldest winter continues? One thing is certain. After Episode 5, the Chi's final season will never be the same again.